What's up, folks? It's your boy, the Noob. Now, you know that I'm an isekai whore, but every now and then, even I get a little tired of the summoned from a different world, but I still like the aspect of having some OP power skills. So, there's a genre that I do kind of like, which, luckily, I think we'll be getting some more animes. We've got a few that are coming in later on this year, and I want to talk about one that I really hope becomes an anime in the future. The title of this manga is The Reincarnation Magician of the Inferior Eyes. In this fantasy anime, the color of your eyes will determine the powers that you have when it comes to magic. So think about it like this way. If you have blue eyes, you probably are more closer to water. You have red eyes, fire, green eyes, forest, stuff like that. This fantasy land, of course, has heroes and demons, and of course there's a big-ass war happening. Meet Abel. He is a genius magician, or wizard, or whatever title you want to give them, a magic user. Now you might be wondering, why is he a genius, and what makes him so powerful? What color are his eyes? Now, to see, this is the important thing. His eyes are actually amber. See, the color amber is a very unique eye color because it is more associated with demons. Very rarely do humans have it. And when a human does have it, the strength of their magic is so strong that even their own kind, humans, look at them both in awe and fear. The story starts out at the end of this battle. The Demon King has been slain. The war is over. The rest of the demons are being mopped up. And the hero, the main leader of the group that Abel has worked with, comes to him telling him, "You are no longer required." Now, in most stories, you would think that the hero would then, try to attack Abel. But no, actually, he just wants him to retire. But the way he says it kind of comes off wrong, and our main character kind of gets sad by this. So he just says, "Okay, I'm going to leave. I know you've set up a place for me, but I'm just going to do stuff on my own." So you might be wondering, what does he do? Does he go off and live like a hermit? Does he just fade away? Does he mask his eyes so no one will know? No, he decides to pull off the most impressive magic that anyone has ever done. Reincarnations. But not into another world. Basically, he's decided he's going to reincarnate himself into a younger body at a later date. So he puts himself into this spell, and he sleeps for 200 years. And when he awakens into the body of a very young child. I'd say somewhere between 10 and 13. Really young. As you can see, he is very young looking, but he still has his amber eyes, and he still has his magical power. When he awakens, the place that he set up for himself, it's old, it's in disarray, it's 200 years, shit has happened. But he notices someone coming towards him, actually, kind of investigate. So he's kind of concerned what it is. This is when he meets up with a very beautiful lady. This beautiful lady is known as Lilith. She is actually the daughter of the Demon King that Abel helped defeat. He actually saved her because she was just a child during the time of the war, and he felt that she did not deserve to be punished for what her father had done. He saved her, he sent her off somewhere where she could live happily ever after, and surprisingly for him, he went into reincarnation, and she was looking for him. After 100 years, she actually found this tomb-like area where he was, and she has been waiting and waiting for him to wake up, and she is happy to see him awake. The thing about Lilith is, at the young age, she actually fell in love with him. She loved him and would devote herself to him. So she takes him home, saying, "Welcome to the new world." The thing about the new world is, science has actually started increasing a lot more, and less magic is happening. I mean, it's gotten to the point where they're even using light bulbs, which Abel finds very interesting. But it also has a slight side effect. The magic levels have actually decreased in over 200 years. Basic spells, which most children in his age used to be able to do on a whim, now adults have trouble casting. And when he meets up with these nobles that Lilith is working for, we're calling it working for now and you'll understand why, he comes to find out that amber eyes are considered cowardice eyes because apparently not many people have them, and because they aren't associated with one element, people tend to think that they're inferior. See, Abel learned about this when he met the first of the noblemen that lived in the house. The first person he met was the second son of the nobleman, named by Ted. Ted is he's not a bad child, but he's one of those super proud kind of kids. Yes, he's nobility, and yes, he kind of acts with a proud demeanor, but he doesn't really mean anything bad by it. That's just the way he raised. He's actually one of the good type of nobles that I really like. He wants to make Abel his disciple, but in reality, he just really wants to make a friend. But Abel doesn't want to play around. He's trying to catch up on history, so he basically tells Ted, if you can catch me and get this scarf off of me, I will be whatever you want me to be. And now Ted plays along. They continuously try getting each other. Abel uses magic, and Ted, even though he doesn't have as strong as magic as Abel, he actually is learning from Abel, and so they keep tagging. The second noble that we meet in this manga is actually Ted's older brother, Bass. Now, Bass is definitely one of those arrogant type of nobles. In fact, Bass, when he first met Abel, he was sizing him up because the story that Abel and Lilith are going with is that Abel is her younger brother. So Bass was trying to figure out who was this person that Lilith was waiting for, and when he meets him, he's a little disappointed at first, but, he brushes it off. The reason why he was trying to figure out Abel was because he is in love with Lilith, and in fact, he has announced his love for her, and she just shoots him the hell down, which makes him very cranky. The noble, I'm a noble, you can't tell me no. So later on, when Ted and Abel are playing around, Ted falls off the roof and unfortunately breaks his leg. Bass tries to use this as an excuse to attack Abel and challenge him to a duel. But the thing about Bass and Abel's power is Abel is way stronger, to where Bass tries to use magic and even some magic tools to defeat him, and Abel just slaps that crap around. Bass doesn't really get defeated by Abel. No, it's Lilith coming in with a knee to the stomach and the most deathly glare you will ever see. And it is that time that you kind of learned the truth behind the nobles and Lilith's status. See, apparently Lilith saved Bass and Ted's father years ago. The nobles are actually working for Lilith. She just wants a low profile, so she has helped them become nobles, and she works for them as a maid because she just has the thought, I just need to work, and so I don't look suspicious. Bass doesn't take this lightly because, of course, he's a dick. So, his father sends him off to Mage school so he can train, but he just needs to get Bass out of the house. He's basically going to let Ted take over because Ted is a good kid, like I said. After this point, a couple years pass. They get to the age where they're supposed to go off to school. It's about, 15-ish. That's about the average age in most of these fantasies. Ted and Abel decide that they're going to go to the Magic Academy, which they do. And it's there that the fun kicks in. Abel's power is uber fantastic to the point where teachers and students don't know what to do with him. Ted, of course, is trying to be a good kid. He's trying to make friends with other nobles who are, of course, dicks. You find out later that Lilith decides that she's going to be a teacher there because, like I said, she's in love with Abel and she will do anything to stay around him. While at the school, they actually meet a girl who kind of takes a fancy to Abel because she has one rule. She will only pay attention to strong men. This young lady's name is Eliza. Now, she is a fiery kind of girl. You later find out she's actually descendants of one of the heroes that Abel worked with, so he kind of got that feeling from her. But like I said, she's very strong-willed. She can only pay attention to strong men. So when she learns of his magic, she actually gets into a duel with him, and he defeats her, which, unknowing to him, she takes a fancy to him. She wants to know about his magic. She gets all nervous. She's kind of tsundere and kind of cute at that when she does it. The story here is basically Abel wants to have a normal life. Ted, of course, is a big friend. Eliza wants to learn about him because she knows there's something mysterious about him and she's trying to figure out. Lilith she wants to be around her boy toy, and yes, he's still a boy and she's definitely going to play with him. And Abel just wants to have a normal life. Teachers are trying to figure out who he is, but he just really just wants to have a normal life. I like this story because, one, it's a reincarnation and it's not an isekai. Two, he may be overpowered, but he's not trying to flaunt it. He's not trying to be a hero anymore. He just wants to have a normal life. And three, even though there are other nobles who are dicks, I love the way he deals with them in this manga. It's actually a very good manga. They've had several chapters out. As of the last count, I believe they had, let me take a look, about 25 chapters out. That's about a couple volumes. It's really good, and I like the way that they're doing this. I want to see how far it goes, because his eyes, of course, like I said, people consider the weakest, but he's actually the strongest. And if Lilith is a demon who has survived, could there be other demons that are around? How will they interact with Abel? And how will people who know about Abel's secret deal with him in the future? And where will he go later on in life? I mean, because since he's super strong, how is he going to have a normal life? I want to see how this plays out. Well, folks, that's my little manga recommendation to you today. It's, like I said, it's a reincarnation, but it's not an isekai. A little bit of change for you folks that are tired of isekais. What do you think? Do you think you would like to read more reincarnation stories? Because I have a few others that I could share with you if you're interested. Let me know in the comments below, and if you like them, I will get to them. Anyways, folks, I'm the Noob. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch y'all later. See ya.